Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And it's a bad day for the SNP, and especially for the Energy Secretary. Of course, he is the man who doesn't know anything about energy and isn't even responsible. But it seems that the Warmer Homes Scotland scheme has been cancelled. It is a joke, it's been halted, and it's been revealed that at the current rate, it would take somewhere in the region of 165 years for it just to do the houses that currently exist in Scotland, let alone any new builds. And so it's gone because they have really screwed the pooch on this one. So we'll take a look at this, see why it's gone, and see why yet another failure from the SNP on energy, because they're incompetent, they are stupid, and they really don't know what they're doing. And why is Neil Gray still in his job? Let's look. So, flagship SNP energy policy labelled a joke after it becomes the latest project to be halted. The Scottish Lib Dems reckon it would take the Warmer Homes Scotland scheme 165 years to reach every home in need at its current rate. SNP ministers have halted yet another flagship policy in a move described as a joke by critics. An energy efficiency scheme offering free insulation to those at risk of fuel poverty has been paused to new applications until October. That's because it's expensive. That's because it wasn't costed. That's because it was rolled out as a gimmick. It wasn't planned. It wasn't taken up by industry. They should have worked out all the kinks before they did it, looked at the consequences, looked at the costings, everything. The sort of things you normally do when you are a responsible organisation trying to do something that would be beneficial, rather than let's just create some headlines and make us look good in the short term and then face the utter humiliation a year down the line, however long it is, when it all goes completely tits up like everything else that we do. The Scottish Lib Dems are now seeking answers on why new applications to the current Warmer Homes Scotland have been put on hold. Designed to reduce fuel bills by making homes more energy efficient, it offers free insulation of measures such as wall and loft insulation to those in homes with poor energy ratings and who are in receipt of certain benefits. And it's actually a good idea. It is a wonderful idea, especially with the price of gas and electricity now. If you can go to people who are already poor, effectively, and then put insulation in, it keeps them warmer. I mean, if nothing else, apart from reducing the bills, it actually physically keeps them warmer and gives them better homes in which to live. And so it's a good policy. It really is. But it was just so ill administered and ill thought out. It wasn't done properly. The Lib Dem MSP Willie Rennie said the scheme is moving too slowly, and at the current rate it would take more than a century to insulate every fuel-poor household in Scotland. He said everyone deserves a warm and secure home, but getting your property up to scratch can be complicated and expensive. He said at the moment the Scottish Government support scheme is a joke. If it continues at the present rate, it will take them 165 years to get the job done. At the moment, you can't even apply to the programme, and this is why it is going to fail. Things like this always fail because they don't plan properly. They should have had a big meeting. They should have got all the insulators in Scotland. They should have divvied out these jobs and say, right, we've got 2 years to do it. We're going to throw 100 million at the problem, whatever it will cost. Say, but we've got a time frame and we cannot let us down. It doesn't take that long to insulate a loft, and I've seen the guys come and do the wall filling. It takes an hour and a half max. It isn't huge jobs you're talking about here. They can do 5-6 houses a day, and if you had all these insulation companies on board, you would get through that in a few years. I've worked in the construction industry for a long time. I was an accountant for house builders for nearly 30 years. I know whereof I speak on things like this. It doesn't take a long time when you plan things properly. The SNP and Greens are making a habit of backtracking on projects with the likes of the A9 dualling programme kicked into the long grass because it wasn't thought out. Lorna Slater was humiliatingly forced to delay her deposit scheme due to huge industry concerns after ruling out a delay. Yeah, she said there's going to be no delay. Oh, look, there's a delay. And in fact, it's not so much a delay as it's being quietly shelved because it has been proved to be a terrible, terrible idea. A government spokesman said, we are relaunching a new and improved Warmer Homes Scotland scheme from October with more funding and more help for households to receive a climate-friendly heating system. Who's paying for it? How's it being costed? What other costs are you taking away? You know, you're saying you're doing this, and you say you're doing that, and yet you never provide figures. And when you're questioned on these things, you never have answers. And then your own energy secretary says he doesn't know anything about energy because he's not responsible for energy. It's a joke, isn't it? Over the last 8 years, they said the current energy scheme has helped 32,000 households to tackle fuel poverty. But because the new scheme has different rules and offers expanded help, we need to allow a period where we complete current applications in the pipeline, work for which will be happening right through the summer, and to gear up for the new scheme. It's all bullshit. You can run these two things side by side. This is money. This is planning and money. Any applications now will be eligible for help when it starts, and at the same time, however, all our other schemes continue. These include blah blah blah. We're not interested. So basically, this is it. They haven't thought it through. They've cancelled applications. They try and give a bullshit reason. Oh, it's because we're going to change everything. Well, you can just create a new scheme and continue running the old scheme. You can do two things at once. You are a government, after all. You're just not a very good government, and you've run out of money, and you've run out of ideas. And you don't have anyone with sufficient knowledge on how to fix the problems that you've created. And that's ultimately very sad. Anyway, I shall stop there and come up. There you go. And yet another scheme that the SNP and the Greens have come up with that's failed. And as I say, ultimately, it was actually a very good idea. We know this. Insulate those homes, save the bills, keep people warm, give them a better quality of life. It isn't too much to ask, surely. But of course, it's not that it's too much to ask, but it's too hard for them to deliver. Life is hard when you're stupid. Something like this wouldn't have been a major problem. But because they lack the vision of completing a job efficiently, of course, then it becomes a major problem. And they are quite incapable of solving it, like so many other things that the Greens and the SNP attempt. It's always doomed to failure. And then other people highlight the failures, they get all shitty about it and go, oh, I don't know, we've got this other idea, so it's going to be even better. Well then, introduce the new idea in time, but continue doing with the idea you've got. Oh no, we can't do two things at once. Yeah, bullshit. They've run out of money. They've run out of money and they've run out of ideas. And I'm running out of time, so I will round off here. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, do please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell and leave a like. And definitely leave a like. The big likes are the big things because they help the metrics. But do share the video as well. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay warm, and goodbye.